Hello, my YouTube viewers out there. It is Sebastian of Sebastian's Movie Game Time, and today episode 43. I think this episode is 43. I'm going to be reviewing because is in my last two movie review videos I've been talking, or my latest one, I'm talking about horror movies. You know, the ones that I enjoy. You know, that I talked about in my last video. Well, I have more. I have more because, you know, it's spooky season, October. Cause saying that this last video I did, my last video, I talked about these horror movies. So this is more horror movies that I really enjoy. So today on episode 43, I believe I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna be reviewing all the horror movies, you know, that I've seen when I was in my younger teenager years time, and how how great they were. So let's get started, shall we? First off, we have this is going to 2004. Now, in 2004, I was like 14 years old in the year 2004. So this is a Stephen King. This is based on a Stephen King novel book. It's called Riding the Bullet. It's about a man who finds out that it's about a teenager man who must visit his mother who has cancer in his hospital. But along the way, he meets devilish ghouls that he meets along the way of his journey. Riding a Bullet. It's a Stephen King. It's like I said. It's based on a Stephen King book. Riding a Bullet. It's a TV made for movie. It's directed by Mick Garris, who directed Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, which was a great Stephen King adaptation film, and excellent directing by Mick Garris himself. Well, Mick Garris delivers another good Stephen King adaptation based on his work called Riding a Bullet. Riding a Bullet, it stars Jonathan Jackson, Erica Christensen, Barbara Hershey from the Beaches movie, she's in it. And also you got David Arquette. David Arquette's, you know, appearance in this Riding a Bullet movie, it's completely a little scary. If you've never seen this movie, Riding a Bullet, and the first time you see this, you can, every time, and if you see this movie for the first time, you can see that, oh, David Arquette has appearance in it, but he's very kind of a scary guy in this movie, I guess you could say. But I thought it was a good part for David Arquette for him to star in. So I guess Stephen King's Riding a Bullet, 4 out of 3 stars. We have the first Saw movie. This is the first Saw movie. It's about 2 guys who wake up in the bathroom with the corpse laying dead on the floor in the center of them, on this bathroom floor, where they must play this mind games by this jigsaw in this mind games. The first Saw movie is the first entry up to the Saw franchise movies. But you know, obviously, everybody knows that the first one's a classic. It's the best. It is. The first Saw movie, it stars Cary Elwes, Danny Glover, Monica Potter, Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, I should say. The first Saw movie, it's a very good psychological kind of horror movie. I guess you could say the first Saw film. I get the first Saw movie. Oh, and this first Saw movie, you know who directed this first Saw movie? James Wan, who will later on to go on to direct the 2 Aquaman movies with Jason Momoa. Well, James Wan directed the first Saw movie, if you're wondering. I get the first Saw movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Exorcist, the beginning. Now, this is a prequel before the original Exorcist from the 70s, before that ever happened. This is the beginning of Exorcist. It tells the story of a younger Father Merrin. That's the priest character that we've seen in the original Exorcist movie. Well, this movie. The beginning, it's the younger version of Father Merrin when he was younger, and how he first encountered evil demon spirits when he was younger. This is a great prequel, I guess you could say, Exorcist movie. But you know, the reason why the original Exorcist movie, it's a classic, everyone knows it. But I thought the Exorcist beginning was really good, really good. I thought it was a good prequel before the original Exorcist. Before we had the original Exorcist, we had this movie, Exorcist: The Beginning. Exorcist: The Beginning. It stars Stellan Skarsgård, who's a big name now because, you know, of Star Wars Andor, and you know, his sons are more famous now. But this is like a younger. This is like an early days of Stellan Skarsgård. It also Exorcist: The Beginning. I give it 4 out of 3 stars. We have another good Stephen King sleeper of a movie, or based on his book, called Secret Window. Secret Window was a very good, and I would say Secret Window. It's definitely one of those movies that you see for the first time. You're like, what kind of? How come I read the book or never saw this movie? But it's really good. Secret Window. It's about a writer who lives by himself in his remote lake house, gets a visit by a mysterious stranger who claims that he stole his story idea from his book that the stranger was supposed to write on, but this writer actually took and gets the credit. Then the stranger guy didn't get the credit. This is a very good sleeper of a Stephen King movie, and based upon the book Secret Window. It stars Johnny Depp, John Turturro, Charles S. Dutton, Maria Bello, and Timothy Hutton. Secret Window. I give Secret Window, and I thought Johnny Depp's performance. I thought Johnny Depp's performance and Secret Window was very good. It was a new kind of performance by Johnny Depp. I just thought he was great in. I give Secret Window 4 out of 3 stars. We had the remake of Dawn of the Dead. It's about a group of people during a zombie apocalypse invasion. Take shelter in this public mall, and it's overrun by zombies who wants to come in and get them. This is a great remake Dawn of the Dead movie. Before I mention this Dawn of the Dead remake, I know a lot of you out there, a lot of you horror fans out there, love the original Dawn of the Dead, directed by George A. Romero, and it's a beloved classic. It's a stand of its time. But I've seen the original Dawn of the Dead, and I know everybody out there loves the original Dawn of the Dead movie. And that's fine. But after watching his remake but when I saw his remake Dawn of the Dead, if I want to be honest, I kind of prefer the remake Dawn of the Dead movie better than the original. Now I know I'm dashing out on a lot of fans out there who love the original Dawn of the Dead, and I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that from my point of view, in my opinion, I'll take the remake Dawn of the Dead remake over the original one. I know, I'm being let down over. No, I do like original movies, I do. But I thought the remake Dawn of the Dead movie was perfect. They made the zombies run fast at the main characters, which was in the original Dawn of the Dead movie, all the zombies are walking in groups, but they're walking in slow motion, and it takes time as they're trying to chase the characters. But in the remake Dawn of the Dead movie, oh man, they totally upgrade. This remake Dawn of the Dead completely upgraded all the zombies in this remake version Dawn of the Dead to run super fast, like a speed fast race car. Oh man, it just completely, Dawn Dead just completely blew me away because I've seen the original and I thought, you know what? I love the remake Dawn Dead. I really enjoyed this remake Dawn Dead better than I enjoyed the original. But you know, I mean, it's my opinion, and I know a lot of you fans out there love the original Dawn Dead, and if you like the original Dawn Dead out there, fans out there, you know what? That's good. You know, but I'm more of a remake Dawn Dead person, better than original Dawn Dead. There's Dawn Dead remake, and you know who directed this remake Dawn Dead movie? Why it was so darn good? You know who directed it? Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder directed this remake Dawn Dead movie. If you didn't know that, but Zack Snyder directed this Dawn Dead remake movie before he did Army of the Dead from Netflix, before he did Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, or Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. Well, this is like an early Zack Snyder movie, Dawn Dead remake, and you know, so wrote the Dawn Dead remake, and this is like a pre yawn of a upcoming writer wannabe director. You know who was the screenwriter of this remake Dawn Dead movie? James Gunn. James Gunn. Yep, James Gunn. The one who directed Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Slither, and well, if you know James Gunn, like if you know James Gunn nowadays, but this is like an early writing for James Gunn. So James Gunn wrote the remake Dawn Dead remake. So I mean, you have Zack Snyder who directed this remake Dawn Dead movie. You got a screenwriter named James Gunn before who he is now, that we all know who James Gunn is now. But apparently these two directors, they collaborate together and brought this remake Dawn Dead movie perfectly well made. This Dawn Dead remake, it stars Sarah Polley, Jake Weber, Mekhi Phifer, and Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction. I give the remake Dawn Dead movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Monster House. This is another good, fun, a little horror animated movie for kids and family alike called Monster House. It's about three teenage best friends. They come to this house where it's being possessed and haunted. It's a very good animated. It's a good animated horror movie. An animated kind of a horror kid animation movie on Monster House. It stars the voice talent of Steve Buscemi. He stars as a voice talent as one of the characters, Steve Buscemi. Like I said, Monster House. I saw this movie at the movie theater, Monster House, and it was very great. Great little family, horror animation film, and I just thought it was great. Monster House. I give Monster House 4 out of 3 stars. We have a remake movie called When a Stranger Calls. Now, this is a remake version, When a Stranger Calls, from the 70s. I think like 78 or 79 that the original When a Stranger Calls came out. But this is a remake of When a Stranger Calls. It's about a teenage babysitter. It's about a teenage babysitter who's watching his 2 kids as the parents are away. But then this teenager girl gets a call, gets threatened, dangerous, messages on her phone that a stranger calling her phone that tells her that to check on the kids. And well, if you've seen the original When a Stranger Calls, you know the premise of the movie, what this one's about. So it's about a teenage girl who gets a job at babysitting 2 kids as the parents are away at dinner, and she gets a mysterious phone call by threat messages by an unknown caller calling her. I know, but I like this remake When a Stranger Calls. It was really good. It's way I know. A lot of people are going to say they love the original, and that's good. They love the original When a Stranger Calls. I've seen the original When a Stranger Calls. I've seen the original with Carol Kane, but I like the remake one. I thought the remake one was. I thought the remake one was not that bad. It was When a Stranger Calls. Though I highly doubt that everybody's going to say, no, the original When a Stranger Calls is a classic. It is. It is a classic, the original, you know, but I like the remake When a Stranger Calls. There's nothing wrong with the remake. You know, um, it's When a Stranger Calls remake. It stars Camilla Bell, um, and Katie Cassidy, who is the daughter of a singer, David Cassidy. I give When a Stranger Calls remake 4 out of 3 stars. We have Land of the Dead. It's about a group of survivors. It's about a group of survivors must battle their way through hordes of dozens of zombies in the world. In this zombie invasion world. This is a George A. Romero who directed this movie, Land of the Dead. It's a great Land of the Dead movie. It really is. It stars John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper, Simon Baker, Asia Argento. Um, I like George A. Romero's Land of the Dead. I like the zombie effects in it. But but do you know who's my favorite zombie? I like all the zombies in Land of the Dead. But do you know who's the best zombie in Land of the Dead? It's a zombie. He goes by the name of Big Daddy. Well, actually, that's the character. That's the zombie's character's name is Big Daddy because he has his name on his shirt. He has a patch on his shirt that says Big Daddy. So he's kind of like the Big Daddy zombie character guy. He's kind of like the leader of their zombies in this movie Land of the Dead. So he's kind of like the leader. He's kind of like the main leader, and their zombies they just follow his lead like he's the leader. So, but the Big Daddy zombie character, it's one of my favorite zombie characters in the zombie movie ever. I like the Big Daddy zombie character. It's my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong. The other zombies were great too, but it's really the Big Daddy zombie was the highlight for me of this movie. I like the Big Daddy zombie character. So I give George A. Romero's Land of the Dead 4 out of 3 stars. We have or should I say, a J horror movie, Japanese J horror movie. That's another name for a Japanese horror film. Is J horror. It's One Missed Call 2. It's where 3 people who gets receiving messages on their cell phones saying that they're gonna commit suicide deaths like the next day or like 2 days later on. This is a Japanese or J horror movie, One Missed Call 2. This is a sequel to the Japanese movie One Missed Call, but like I said, I thought the second One Missed Call is my favorite, but towards the end of the movie, I thought it was a great Japanese sequel of a movie, One Missed Call 2, but there were at times in the One Missed Call 2 movie that it kind of felt like a little emotional at times, but it's really a damn good. It's really a good darn sequel, Japanese version. One Missed Call 2. I think One Missed Call 2 is probably my favorite one of the J horror movie, One Missed Call movies. The second one is my favorite. But like I said, there's at times there's a little backstory in this movie that gets a little emotional, and it will hit certain people in different ways if they see it for the first time. But it's a very good. I doubt it's a very good sequel. I give One Missed Call 2 stars. Rhea Maria. I give one missed call too. 4 out of 3 stars. We have a Wes Craven movie called Cursed. It's about a brother and sister who gets attacked by a werewolf at night as they're coming back home. They're getting attacked by a werewolf, and then the brother gets bitten. And as they uncover, and the brother and sister must find a way that, who is the werewolf. Now, over the past years, after this movie, Curse movie came out, everybody was saying, "Dad, what kind of werewolf movie is it? This is not a good werewolf movie." And over the years, I keep hearing a lot of people saying that this Curse movie was not a very good werewolf movie. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a good werewolf movie. It doesn't have to be. To some people's what they think about this movie, but to be honest, and who directed this Curse movie is Wes Craven. Wes Craven directed this Curse movie, so I was like, I'm a Wes Craven fan. I'm a fan of Wes Craven, so I thought Curse was not that bad, even though a lot of people may think that it's a very bad movie. It's not. Maybe to some people they didn't care for this Curse movie, but I thought it was really good. I'm a Wes Craven fan, like I said, and this Curse movie stars Christina Ricci, Jesse Eisenberg. Before he did Zombieland and before he played Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg was very young in this film, Curse. The film also stars Shannon Elizabeth of American Pie, and Judy Greer also appears in this one, and Joshua Jackson is in Curse movie too, as well. I give Wes Craven's Curse movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have the House of Wax remake. It's about a group of people who comes to a small town and realize that there's a wax-figured mass killer attacking them. House of Wax is based on a remake. Is kind of based on a remake of the original one that stars Vincent Price. But the House of Wax remake was really good. I really enjoyed the remake House of Wax. It stars Alicia Charbert, Chad Michael Murray, Jared Padalecki before he did Supernatural, Paris Hilton, and Paris Hilton is also in House of Wax. I'll give the House of Wax movie remake 4 out of 3 stars. We have Saw 2. It's the sequel to the first Saw movie, Saw 2. It's about a detective who finds out that his son and other group of criminals have taken place of playing more deadly games of Jigsaw's games, and they must play to win if they want to survive. Saw 2, I thought was a very good follow-up sequel to the first Saw movie. Saw 2 stars Donnie Wahlberg, Dana Meyer, Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, and Glenn Plummer. I give Saw 2 4 out of 3 stars. We have The Descendant. Ooh, The Descendant. Yes. This is a movie not made for people who are cave exploring climbers or who have claustrophobic of air of crawling in tight squeezed spaces. Ooh, The Descendant. This movie was really good. It was really bone-chilling scary. I really enjoyed The Descendant. It's about a group of thrill-seeking women who go cave exploring in this one big cave in the middle of the woods, in the forest. But then this cave is being overrun by creature like humans. The Descendant stars Shauna McDonald and Natalie Martinez. I give The Descendant movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have The Grudge 2. It tells free interviewing stories by 3 different people as they as they kind of meet up with each other at the end, or like it's like interviewing stories of 3 different point of views from 3 different characters. The Grudge 2. I like this Grudge 2 a lot. I didn't care for the first Grudge movie that started Sarah Michelle Gellar, but the second Grudge movie, The Grudge 2, is definitely one of my favorites. I thought it was very scary and spooky at the same time. The Grudge 2 stars Amber Tamblyn from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. The film also stars Aria Cabell, Jennifer Beals, and Sarah Michelle Gellar appears in it too. The Grudge 2. I give the Grudge 2 remake. I give the Grudge 2 movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Stay Alive. It's about a group of people who play this video game, and if they die in a video game, that if the characters die in the video game as they're playing, they die in real lifetime. It's a very underrated, under the radar kind of movie, Stay Alive. It stars Frankie Muniz of Malcolm in the Middle and Big Fat Liar, and Sophia Bush also appears in it before she did One Tree Hill and Chicago PD. Sophia Bush. The Stay Alive movie, I give Stay Alive 4 out of 3 stars. We have Wicked Little Things. It's about a mother and her 2 daughters. They moved to a house that's in her name in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, and they're countered by supernatural spirits of the dead children as they begin haunting the mother and her 2 daughters. Wicked Little Things. When I saw this movie the first time, I didn't quite understand. I didn't quite get it. Or I didn't understand what was this movie Wicked Little Things about. But then I rewatched this movie not too long ago of this year, and I realized, you know what this movie reminds me of? There's a little bit, this movie Wicked Little Things, it kind of reminded me a bit of John Carpenter movie, The Fog, in a way. What the story premise, I guess you could say. It has a John Carpenter kind of The Fog kind of element to this movie. So I rewatched it again, and I really enjoyed it, Wicked Little Things. It stars Laurie Hurin, Scout Compton, and Chloe Martis, before she was Chloe Grace Moretz, who played Hit Girl in the first Kick-Ass movie. She was a little girl. She was like a little girl in this movie, Wicked Little Things. But she was credited at the time before Grace Moretz. She was known as Chloe Moretz before she was called Grace. So you got the girl. You got Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass movie, who was a young girl who was young at the time in this more Wicked Little Things. So she's in it. I was surprised, like, oh my God, look how young Chloe Grace Moretz was. So it was cool to see her younger herself, before she did the first Kick-Ass movie. I give Wicked Little Things 4 out of 3 stars. We have Slither. I saw this movie Slither at the movie theater, and I had no idea what kind of movie I watched, but I really enjoyed Slither. I thought, oh, this is a really terrific, fun movie, Slither. It's about a few people must battle slugworms like that controls other people's body and mind as they possess them. Slither, it's a fun movie. It's directed by James Gunn. This is James Gunn's first directing debut movie, Slither. This is James Gunn's first movie directing debut, if you're wondering. Slither, it stars Elizabeth Banks, Nathan Fillion, and Michael Rooker. I give the first Slither movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have another movie called Tease. It's about a high school. It's about a high school teenage girl who realizes that there's something inside of her body, and I'm afraid because this is appropriate content video. I'm not gonna say where. I'm not gonna say where this creature inside this high school girl's body is. I'll let you see the movie and you can know why. And once you see the movie, you can tell why that I don't want to explain in this video of where of this creature, where it comes out of a girl, out of this high school girl. I'll just say that because I know. But if you've never seen this movie, tease, I'll just leave it at that. That this high school girl. So like I said, it's about a teenage high school girl realizes that there might be a creature or something inside of her body. That's all I can say. I can't say anymore else because I don't want to. Well, I'd rather not say it. I'll just leave it at that. Let me just say that. But it's what, okay, do you know how Fatal Attraction, you know the movie Fatal Attraction with Michael Douglas? When that movie came out in '87, it kind of scared a lot of unfaithful married husbands of what the story's about. Fatal Attraction for married husbands or married, married husbands, the Fatal Attraction movie. Well, if you think that this movie tease, it's a causing alarm. It's a causing alarming that involves teenage guys. If they see this movie tease, I'll just say that. It's a very disturbing message of a movie for teenage guys, especially guys or teenage guys to see his movie. They'll get the message after watching his movie. That's all I can say. This is a very, you could say, controversial movie tease. It stars Jess Wexler. I get the tease movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Hostel Part 2. It's about 3 women who get part in taking places and by being tortured by wealthy people with money to have them tortured. This Hostel Part 2 movie, it's a sequel to the first Hostel movie, Hostel Part 2. And I like Hostel Part 2 better than the first Hostel movie. I thought Hostel Part 2 was way better than the first one. I don't know. Hostel Part 2, it stars Lorraine Graham, Bijou Phillips. I give Hostel Part 2 4 out of 3 stars. We have P2, known as Parking Lot 2. It's about a businesswoman who gets trapped by a psychotic security guard and inside a parking lot where she works at, and she must run and hide from a psychotic security guard that he's chasing her. It's a very good little thriller movie, I guess, horror in a way. It stars P2 stars Rachel Nichols and Wes Bentley. I give P2, known as Parking Lot 2, 4 out of 3 stars. We have Trick or Treat. Now I have never heard nothing about this movie, Trick or Treat. Oh, maybe I did heard about it, but I didn't see it in theaters or nothing. But then we had the video stores of this time. We have video stores like Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video. Well, I was at Blockbuster Video one time, and I came across this movie, Trick or Treat, and I was like, Trick or Treat. I heard about this movie. This movie was supposed to be supposed to be released in theaters, but because this movie didn't have any more marketing campaign to finance this movie, it really disappeared for a long time and straight to DVD. So I rented this movie, Trick or Treat. And oh my goodness, I wasn't. There were a lot of surprises in this film I wasn't prepared for. When I rented this movie, Trick or Treat, I saw it and I thought that was really great. That was really excellent. I thought, oh, this is a great anthology story. Trick or Treat, it tells 4 stories that takes place in the same night, Halloween night, and it involves and deals with all the main characters that we see throughout the entire of this movie. It's a really fun movie, Trick or Treat. It really is. Trick or Treat stars Anna Paquin and Brian Cox. Anna Paquin's I thought Anna Paquin's story was actually really cool, to be honest. And Brian Cox was good too in Trick or Treat. I give Trick or Treat movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have the Grave Dancers. The Grave Dancers are about 3 people who get drunk this one night and they're dancing among 3 tombstone graves. And they awaken some evil spirit of these 3 people that they dance the graves on. And now they're being haunted by these 3 evil ghost spirits. The Grave Dancer stars Dominic Purcell. I give the Grave Dancers movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon. This is another good movie. It's about a documentary crew team who interviewed this younger man who tells them ideas about he's going to become the next killer to kill and how he's going to kill people. And he's giving he's giving all the details, explaining about how he's going to do it and how he's going to kill people. This is another great low-budget movie, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It stars Akita Goldhouse. There's the main woman character. There's the main woman character in this Behind the Mask movie. The main woman character, she's kind of like the main lead character in this movie. But do you know who she is? Kevin, that French word, les incompetents. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool that we see that girl from the first Home Alone becoming like the main woman character in this movie, Behind the Mask movie. I thought it was very cool and interesting. So, I mean, it was cool, you know. Oh, in this movie, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, it also stars Scott Wilson, who played Herschel in the Walking Dead TV show later on. It also stars Robert Englund is in it too. And that psychic woman from Poltergeist, Zelda Rubinstein, the psychic woman from Poltergeist who can call and speak to the dead. And Poltergeist, she's in Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. I was like, oh, okay. So it's a really good movie, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I give Behind the Mask 4 out of 3 stars. We have the Dirt Files Nation Free movie. It's about a woman named Wendy and her friends who escaped death the first time, but then like months or weeks later, the remaining friends who escaped with her, you know, they become in death's next new target list. Files Nation Free, I would say this is a great Dirt Files Nation movie. It really is. It stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was the main lead. So I thought it was cool. And you know what this Files Nation Free movie had? On the back of the, if you watch the DVD of the Dirt Files Nation movie, and it gives you, the menu DVD gives you an option. If you go special features on the DVD menu of Dirt Files Nation movie, it gives you an option called Choose Your Fate, choose the character's fate, and all the characters in this Dirt Files Nation movie, you'll be given a chance to choose their fate or what will happen to their characters. If you want them to live, or you want them, you know, if they deserve it, let them have what they deserve. Or, you know, if they're like good, you know, you could save them, or you can let them, however you want to do it. Like you could choose their characters' fates. So it's a very interesting interactive on a DVD menu. So if you watch a DVD, if you go to special features of this DVD of the Dirt Files Nation movie, it says choose your fate, choose the character's fate or something. It would tell you a description about what you need to do, which character, like who you think who survives the most, and who you don't want character to survive at all. So it was really a cool gimmick, kind of a bonus thing. It was cool. I give the Third Falls Nation movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Black Christmas. Yes, there is a 70s one. It was like 1974 or 1975 Black Christmas one from the 70s. And then in 2019, we had a Black Christmas movie that came out 2019 by Blumhouse. No, this is not the Black Christmas movie. This is not the 70s Black Christmas one from the 70s or the 2019 that we had that Blumhouse did. That it's not that Black Christmas. This is the best Black Christmas movie. Well, maybe to me, of course. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it might be. I don't think this Black Christmas movie might not be, you know, might not be everyone's favorite because everyone loves the original Black Christmas, and a lot of people like the remake Black Christmas that we had in 2019, the Blumhouse one. But to me, this is definitely what I call the best Black Christmas movie ever. But that's just my opinion. That's just who I am. Black Christmas about a group of sorority girls. They get threatened phone calls, messages by a killer who's coming to kill them on Christmas Eve at this sorority house. This is a great and like I said, this Black Christmas movie. It's not going to be for everybody because they love the original Black Christmas movie or the 2019 that Blumhouse did, and that's fine. But to me, I say this is what I call the best Black Christmas movie remake ever. It stars Katie Cassidy as the main lead character. Katie Cassidy, she's daughter of a music singer, David Cassidy. So Katie Cassidy is at the main lead in this Black Christmas movie. This Black Christmas movie also stars Michelle Trachtenberg. I love Michelle Trachtenberg ever since Harriet the Spy. So Michelle Trachtenberg is in this Black Christmas movie. And also too, you got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I just talked about her, and the Third Falls Nation movie. So you got Mary Elizabeth Winstead in Black Christmas. I thought was cool. So I give this new Black Christmas remake movie 4 out of 3 stars. We had Drive Through. It's about a clown. It's about a clown killer who stalks a teenage girl and her friends on the eve before the teenage girl's birthday. Drive Through. It's kind of a low budget slasher movie. It stars Lee Mester before she played the Blair character in CW show hit Gospel Girl. Well, Lee Mester was at the main lead character in this Drive-Thru movie. Lee Mester, before she did Gospel Girl at the time, or I think at the same time as Gospel Girl, she did this movie. I give Drive-Thru movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Train. It's about a champion. It's about a champion team who gets put on a train, who come on board a train, not knowing that it's a train that takes them to a black market of harvest organs. It's kind of like a Hostel torture kind of rip-off train. It stars Tora Burch. Train stars Tora Burch, who was really badass in the movie, I thought, especially at the end. I get a Train movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have One Turn 2. It's about players of a reality show must battle a free cannibalistic family clan in the sequel One Turn 2. It stars Henry Rollins. I give One Turn 2 4 out of 3 stars. We have the Forced Quarantine movie. It's about a woman reporter and a few others. Her cameraman and a firefighter and other residents get trapped in this a building, LA building that's locked down under quarantine by some disease infection going on. Quarantine movie. It's a very good film footage kind of a movie. It stars Jennifer Carpenter, Jay Hernandez, Ayan Joey King. Before we see her now and like in Bullet Train and White House Down and So, and Columbus Short also stars in Quarantine. I get the first Quarantine movie for out of 3 stars. We had the first Mirrors movie. It's about a security guard. It's about a security guard man who gets a job as a. It's about a man who gets a job as a security guard who's been seeing reflection spirits in the mirror, and people that he comes contact with, they become deathless, death hitless for them. The first Mirrors movie. I'm not going to give away what happens, but let me just say there's a scene in the Mirrors movie that is one of the best, I think, terrifying movie scenes in the movie. I'll just say that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. The first Mirrors movie, it stars Kiefer Sutherland, Paula Patton, and Amy Smart. I get the first Mirrors movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Dance of the Dead. It's about a group of teenagers who are on their way to prom night, must battle zombies at the same time, where the zombies going on. This is a fun comedy zombie kind of romance movie, Dance of the Dead. It's really fun and great. It stars Grayson Hardwick. I give Dance of the Dead 4 out of 3 stars. We have Splinter. It's about 4 people who get trapped at a local gas station shop, and is being overrun by the Splinter type of creature that attaches onto people, and it kills them. Splinter. The movie stars Jill Wagner. Jill Wagner, you should know who Jill Wagner is. If you've seen a TV show called Wipeout, well, Jill Wagner was the host of Wipeout. Well, she's the main lead in this Splinter movie, Jill Wagner. So it's cool that she's the main lead because she was the host of the Wipeout TV show. I give the Splinter movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Offspring. It's about a group of savages who lives off the land property. They begin start attacking people, local people. Offspring is based on a Jack Ketchum book. Offspring stars Paulina McIntosh. I give Jack Ketchum's Offspring 4 out of 3 stars. We have Blood Night, The Legend of Mary Hatchet. It's about a woman named Mary Hatchet who kills her parents, and years later her spirit ghost starts attacking group of teenagers. This is a fun slasher. Slasher movie, Blood Night: The Legend of Mary Hatchet. It stars Danielle Harris and Bill Moseley. I give Blood Night: The Legend of Mary Hatchet 4 out of 3 stars. We have the first Dead Snow. It's about a group of ski vacation best friends. They found a box of gold coins, but later they find out that it belongs to a Nazi group of Nazi official German soldiers who come back as zombies as they want the box of gold coins that they took. Dead Snow. It's I think it's a Norwegian zombie movie. So. Dead Snow stars Jasper Roque Larson. I give Dead Snow 4 out of 3 stars. We have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's about Michael Myers' sister, Laurie Strode, as she must deal with trauma and traumatic experience. Begins that Michael Myers has come back to finish stalking her on Halloween night. This is a sequel to Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. This is actually my favorite Rob Zombie's Halloween movie, Halloween 2. It stars Scout Tara Compton, Malcolm McDowell, Danielle Harris, Sherman Zombie, Richard Brake, Dana Roebuck, Jim Dana Phillips. I give Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 4 out of 3 stars. We have Saw 6. It's about Jigsaw's appearance, who is a detective, begins to play more Jigsaw games with more players. Saw 6, or no, Saw 9. Yeah, Saw 9. It stars Tobin Bell. I give Saw 9 5 out of 3 stars. We have Boy Eats Girl. It's about a teenager who comes back from the dead, and it's about a young teenager who comes back from the dead as he to save his girlfriend from a zombie massive horde. Um, Boy Eats Girl. It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead. It's like a little zombie comedy like Shaun of the Dead, but not as good as Shaun of the Dead. But I thought Boy Eats Girl was really fun. It stars Samantha Mara. I give Boy Eats Girl 4 out of 3 stars. We have Death Final Destination. It's about a guy who has a permission vision at a race car, and as he gathers up his friends and other people, has become deaths for target's new list to go after. Death Final Destination is shot like in 3D. It stars Malcolm T. Williamson and Haley Webb. I get Death Final Destination movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Circle de Free, the vampire assistant. It's about a teenager who's been bitten by a vampire, and he must save his family from other zombies. No, not zombies, other vampire clan. This is a fun movie, Circle de Freak, the vampire assistant. I know, it didn't do much good when it first came out, but that was really fun, different kind of movie. I give Circle de Freak, the vampire assistant, stars the late Ray Stevenson, Josh Hutcherson, Selma Hayek, William Dafoe, and John C. Reilly. I give Circle de Freak, the vampire assistant, 4 out of 3 stars. We have Sorority Roll. It's about a group of sorority sister girl best friends. They find themselves being stalked by a killer who knows what they did. This is a remake. This is loosely based on a remake from the 80s movie The House on Sorority Roll, but this remake is called Sorority Roll. It stars Brianna Avigan, Carrie Fisher, and Rumor Willis, Bruce Willis's daughter. I give the Sorority Roll I give Sorority Roll 4 out of 3 stars. We have the first Orphan movie. It's about It's about a young girl who gets adopted by a family, but then the wife realizes that this young girl doesn't seem to be quite normal little girl, and she has secrets about her. Orphan movie. It's a very good psychological thriller movie and horror, I could say. It stars Vera Farmiga, Peter Sarsgaard. I give the first Orphan movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Kill Theory. It's about a group of friends who gets a phone call by a stranger that they must kill one another, and only one of them can make it out alive by morning. If not, then they all die. Kill Theory. It stars Taryn Manning. I give the Kill Theory 4 out of 3 stars. We have Dead Snow Part 2, Red vs. Dead. It's about a man who survived the first Dead Snow movie. Must battle more of the Nazi zombies who wants their gold coins as one of them gets taken, and they must come after it. Dead Snow 2. It stars Greer Yoger, Greer Yogo, Vogo, Noel. I get Dead Snow 2 4 out of 3 stars. We have Prom Night, the 80s. This is not the remake Prom Night. This is the 80s version, the 80s slasher one, Prom Night. It's about five teenagers who get stalked and killed one by one by a mass killer at prom during a prom night or at the senior prom night. This is a Canadian slasher movie. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, and Leslie Nielsen also appears in it. I get the prom night movie, the 80s slasher prom night movie, 4 out of 3 stars. We have The Fly. It's about a scientist who gets transported into a machine that he's testing by himself, but then a fly gets inside with them, and the scientist becomes a fly that attaches him, and then he slowly becomes a fly creature monster. It's a very good remake movie, The Fly. It stars Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. It's a David Cronenberg movie, the Fly remake. I get The Fly remake, 4 out of 3 stars. We have Maniac. It's about a serial killer man who scalps different women and scalps off their heads and puts them on his mannequins that he collects. Maniac is one of those. It's one of those controversial slasher horror movies from the 80s because how graphically violent it is. But it's a cult classic slasher movie, Maniac, despite the plot of the movie. But it's a cult classic 80s graphic movie slasher film, Maniac. The makeup effects is done by Tom Savini. Maniac movie stars Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro. I get the first Maniac, the slasher Maniac movie, 4 out of 3 stars. We have The Town That Dreads Sundown. It's about a serial killer who goes by the name of Phantom, who is copying the murders from this classic movie, The Town That Dreads Sundown, of the same time movie title, into modern day times. I love this Town Dreads Sundown. The original one, the original version, The Town That Dreads Sundown, it's more like a true story, like what happened, true story, the original one. But this remakes film version of The Town Dreads Sundown, it's kind of like a slasher version, then not much more about a true story about what happened in the original version. This new Town Dreads Sundown version movie is more of a slasher film, so that's the only difference about it. The Town Dreads Sundown remake stars Veronica Cartwright, Anthony Anderson, Edward Herman, and Addison Timlin as the main girl character in this movie. I love the slasher. I love the slasher gory kill scenes in the Town Dreads Sundown remake. That was a fresh take on the movie. I love the original version, but like I said, the original The Town Dreads Sundown is more of a true story movie, and this remake one, the Town Dreads Sundown remake, it's more of a slasher well-made movie. So, but I get the Town Dreads Sundown remake, 4 out of 3 stars. And Anthony Anderson also is in the Town Dreads Sundown remake. So I get the Town Dreads Sundown remake, 4 out of 3 stars. We have Tales of Halloween. Is in the horror. Is an anthology horror movie. Tells like 5 or 7 stories. About what goes on Halloween and what creeps around. Tales of Halloween. It stars a great cast. Like you got Barbara Crampton, Robert Ressler, Madison Iseman, Joe Landis appears in it. Stuart Gordon, the director of Reanimator at Farm Beyond, Lynn Shay from the Insidious movies, James Duval from the first Independence Day movie, and you got Meg Garris, the director of Stephen King movies. I get Tales of Halloween, 4 out of 3 stars. We have As Above, So Below. It's about a team of explorers who get caught up in the catacombs of Paris, the catacombs in Paris, run by evil, supernatural evil forces. As Above, So Below. It's a claustrophobic movie. It stars Pedro Pereira Weeks. I give As Above, So Below 4 out of 3 stars. We have Stage Fright. Stage Fright remake. Stage Fright is by a teenage girl. It's by a teenage girl who goes to a camp at a musical camp where where a killer awaits for her to arrive. This Stage Fright movie, it was really good. It stars Manny Driver, Meatloaf Andy, the senior actor Meatloaf Andy. I give Stage Fright. I give Stage Fright 4 out of 3 stars. We have Wish Upon. It's by a teenage girl who makes 7 wishes from a Chinese puzzle box, and every time she says a new wish or she grants her wishes, consequences comes with the price. It stars Joey Keane, Ryan Philippine, and Jerry O'Connell appears in the Wish Upon. I give Wish Upon movie 4 out of 3 stars. We have Annabelle Comes Home. This is my favorite Annabelle movie of all time. Annabelle Comes Home. It's about the Warrens' daughter. It's about the Warrens' daughter who becomes targeted by the evil supernatural forces that the Warrens have kept. It's about the Warrens' daughter who becomes haunted by these evil spirits that her parents collected over the years. Annabelle Comes Home. It stars Madison Iseman, Vera Farmiga, Mackenzie, McKenna Grace, who was in Ghostbusters, this new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. You got Madison Iseman, Vera Farmiga, and Patrick Wilson. I give Annabelle Comes Home 4 out of 3 stars. We have the first Final Destination movie. It's about a group of high school teenagers get off an airplane because of a teenager. It's about a teenager who has a premonition vision of the plane exploding with them and his friends on it. And they get off the plane, but then they realize that him and his friends, death starts coming to them in different ways. This is the first Final Destination movie. It stars Devon Sawa, Arlie Lauder, Kurt Smith, Sean William Scott, who plays Stifler in American Pie movie. Sean William Scott is in this. Is in Final Destination. Amanda Detmore and Greg Tony Todd. I give Final Destination movie, the first Final Destination film, 4 out of 3 stars. We have Urban Legends Final Cut. It's about film students. It's about film students who's being targeted by a serial killer who's coming after them to get like a Spirit Film Award that this killer's after, that these film students are after and going for, but the killer wants his film award, apparently. It's a sequel to the first Urban Legend, but it has nothing to do with the first Urban Legend movie. It's a movie set of his own, Urban Legends Final Cut. It stars Jennifer Morrison, Lorena Devine, Anthony Anderson, Eva Mendes. I give Urban Legends Final Cut 4 out of 3 stars. We have Cherry Falls. I saw this movie Cherry Falls when I was 10 years old. This was my first slasher movie at an age of being 10 years old, was Cherry Falls. It's about a serial killer who's targeting virgin teenagers of this high school who are virgins, and only a teenage girl can stop him, can stop this killer. Cherry Falls movie, like I said, I saw Cherry Falls movie on 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 cable TV when I was 10 years old. I liked it. It became my first slasher movie I ever saw at a younger age. And years later, Scream Factory released it on Blu-ray for the first time. So I was so happy. I was so happy that Cherry Falls. I'm happy for Scream Factory that they released this Cherry Falls movie, and I'm happy. And when I bought it, when I bought this Cherry Falls from Scream Factory, everything I remember from a movie that I remember watching in this movie, it was all there just like how I remember it the first time I watched it. Cherry Falls movie stars Jay Moore, Michael Biehn, the late Brittany Murphy, Michael Biehn, Gabriel Mann, and Jay Moore. I give Cherry Falls movie 5 out of 3 stars. We have Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 movie. That's fine. The first one's a classic. But I love the classic as much as I love the classic Blair Witch Project movie. I do. But I have a lot of love. I have a lot of love and respect for the Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 movie. I know. You can criticize me. It's like, how could you like Blair Witch, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2? You said it's not good. It is. Yeah, I know. I understand it's a movie. I know it's a sequel movie that not much people don't like. But, but that's me. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 is about a group of tourists. They realized they brought some evil witch ghost spirit back with them as it begins haunting them. The Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, it stars Jeffrey Donovan and Kim Director. I give Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 5 out of 3 stars. We have the first Ginger Snaps movie. It's about two sisters who that one of them gets bit by a werewolf and slowly becomes a werewolf. Ginger Snaps is a very good. I love Ginger Snaps. Ginger Snaps is definitely one of those horror movies that is my favorite. It stars Captain Isabel, Emily Perkins, and Mimi Rogers. I give the first Ginger Snaps movie 5 out of 3 stars. We have The Sixth Sense. It's about a psychiatrist who must help a young boy to solve a murder of a young girl. This is M. Night Shyamalan's first movie before he hit the scene. It stars Bruce Willis, Haley Joel Osment, Misha Barton, and Toni Collette. I get The Sixth Sense movie 5 out of 3 stars. We have the first Joyride movie. It's about 2 brothers going on a cross-country road trip. Decides to play prank on the semi-truck driver that begins stalking them as well. Joyride movie stars Paul Walker, Steve Zahn. The voice of the trucker is done by Ted Levine and Lily Sobieski as well. I get the first Joyride movie 5 out of 3 stars. Okay, everybody, that would do it on episode 43 of Sebastian's Movie Game Time. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and you'll get your content episodes Mondays. So thank you again for watching episode 43, and I'll see all of you. I'll see all of you at the movies.